Like many women, marriage and children was something Linda Greenlaw wanted, wished for. And just when she thought it wasn't in the cards, life happened.
9 books.
Nine.
Did you ever think you'd read 9 books?
I can't believe it, like when somebody introduces me as an author.
You're like
Really,
looking for one? You're
9
like...
books, I know. Yeah, I had to pinch myself every day. So, I mean, the writing's been very good, which is nice. I don't enjoy writing. It's not an activity that I really look forward to doing ever. It's work.
Right.
It's work, and you work hard at it, and you like to think that you get better and better as you go. So,
I've read so many of them, and they're wonderful, and you're a great writer, but it's funny that you don't enjoy it. It's almost like a blessing and a curse kind of thing.
exactly. I mean, I love my books, but I do not enjoy the process at all. Most of the time when I'm writing, I'm at my home on Isle of Ho, and I have a lot of glass, and I'm looking over Penobscot Bay, and I'm sitting trying to write, and I see my friends going by in their lobster boats, and I'm thinking, ah! So that part of it's tough.
Is that where you're most comfortable? Like, if you look out here at this view, is that, you want to be out there? Is that like home?
Yeah, I feel very much at home at sea. So I think mostly just because I've spent so much time at sea. I started fishing commercially at the age of 19, and those were 30-day trips, and then that went, after college graduation to doing it year-round and being offshore far more than I was ashore. I still love what I do, except for the writing.
Right, exactly. Now, do you think your mom, did I read somewhere that she was you're going to be a commercial fisherman for your job? Because you're a Colby graduate, English and government, right? Major.
My parents were not happy with my decision to start fishing year-round. It was okay when it was a summer job to help pay my way through school. And back in 1979, there was a lot of money in commercial fishing, and it worked out really well. When I graduated and took my degree offshore, it wasn't a real good thing with my folks.
But it helps with the books. You're right, you didn't need a ghostwriter.
Well, exactly, yeah. For years I would sort of endure the advice from parents and other people saying, you're wasting your education. Commercial fishing is no place for an educated young person, and I have an opportunity quite often to speak to schools, whether it's a commencement address or just going in for a very informal thing. One of the things that I always stress is that your education is never wasted. It's just not possible. Your education becomes you. I like to think that I use all of my education doing whatever I'm doing, writing, fishing, book touring, playing around to golf.
Sure.
It's impossible to waste it. So a lot of parents don't like to hear me say that.
But it's true.
It is true.
It is true.
You've had something else, a different change in your life that's, I would imagine, opened it up to all these amazing possibilities. Talk a little bit about that book.
Right, book number 9, Life-Saving Lessons, and I've done a fair amount of book touring with Life-Saving Lessons, and one of the things that I kept hearing along the book tour was people's opinions that this book is such a departure for Linda Greenlaw, and I disagree with that. I mean, my life has been a departure. I write about my life, so in that way I think Life-Saving Lessons is very much in keeping with everything else that I've done. And I always describe Life-Saving Lessons as a horror story with a happy ending. And I think that's fairly accurate. I became a legal guardian of a young girl out on Isle of Ho. She was 15 years old. I had always wanted children. Didn't necessarily want to start with a 15, a teenage girl, a very difficult teenage girl. And it's my perspective of how that whole thing transpired. Our relationship, and how it grew from something very ugly to something very nice.
And what is it like to be a legal guardian, a mom? I mean, you basically are her mom.
I'm definitely her mom now, and that was definitely a role that I grew into. Like we both grew into it, and it's great. It's great. She's away at college right now. My husband and I are celebrating our first anniversary. And flowers showed up with this beautiful card from my daughter. So it's nice.
Is that nice to say, my daughter?
It is nice to say, and I very much feel like her mother, so it feels natural. And we were a long time getting there, but we made it.
I don't even know how to hold.
Put your hands the other way.
Oh, like this?
No, you had it right the first time.
This way?
No, the other way.
This way.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. Watch her get it right in. Come on, Shannon. It's better than I did.
All right, let's see here.
Yes! Yay! Nice. You're a natural.
This can be addicting.
Oh, no, you have to take it.
Oh, okay.
It feels good to take it out of there.
Look at that. Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Look at that. Here we
See?
go. Beautiful.
Yeah,
I can
now-
see why you like to golf. I can. All right, just a fun few last questions. Celebrity crush.
For a long time, I had a crush on John Daly, who's a golfer. He's like the bad boy of golf.
yeah, he is.
And he like never plays anymore, so I never get to sort of watch him on TV. My other crush that I've been very open about is Pat Conroy, who's an author. He's my favorite author. It's actually pretty funny. I was doing a book event in Blue Hill, Maine, and during the Q&A, somebody said, you know, who's your favorite author? And I went on and on and on about Pat Conroy to the point of actually saying I'm in love with him. And I really was pretty ridiculous probably. And then, it got to the point where I'm sitting and signing books, and a woman wanted a book signed, and she wanted me to write it to Pat Conroy and Sally. And I said, oh, you like him too? And she said, yeah, he's my husband. I was like, oh my
gosh,
God.
you're kidding me.
Like, I just confessed like this secret love of your husband. And she was like, he's gonna be really upset that he was not here tonight to listen to that. Well, they were vacationing, they rented a house in Blue Hill,
How
and
great is that?
he didn't come to my event. Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's his loss. That's his loss.
I like to think so.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that's great. What's next for Linda Greenlaw? A partnership with Hannaford Supermarkets to promote her swordfish as a sustainable, healthy food. And maybe working on her putting, just a little.